I was 16, and I thought hiding my boyfriend in the laundry room was going to be the smartest move of my life. It was the dumbest. My mom raised me alone after my dad left, and she had exactly one rule that mattered more than anything else. No boys until I turned 18. Not no dating, not be careful. Just no boys, period. Like they were a disease she was trying to keep out of the house. I understood why, kind of. Her own mother had let her run wild at 16, and things hadn't gone well. But understanding it didn't make it easier to live with, especially once I met Thomas. We'd been together 4 months, always in secret. Study group at the library. Walking with friends after school. Small windows, stolen minutes. It was exhausting, but it also made every second with him feel like it mattered more. That Friday, my mom had a late shift at the hospital, and I made a decision I still can't fully explain except that I was 17 and tired of hiding. I told Thomas to come over at 9. We'd watch a movie, nothing crazy, and he'd be gone by 11, long before her shift ended at midnight, except her shift ended early. I heard her keys in the door at 10:40 and my stomach dropped straight through the floor. Laundry room, I hissed, and Thomas practically dove behind the drying rack, knocking over a bottle of detergent that thankfully didn't spill. I kicked his shoes under the couch and threw myself onto the cushions like I'd been alone all night, heart slamming so hard I could feel it in my teeth. My mom walked in still wearing her scrubs, and she didn't even take her coat off before she stopped in the doorway and looked at me. Really looked. "Whose shoes are those?" she said quietly. I felt the blood leave my face. "What shoes?" She didn't answer. She just walked past me toward the kitchen, toward the laundry room, and I scrambled up after her, my mouth already forming apologies I couldn't finish. She opened the door, and Thomas stood there frozen, one hand still on a shirt on the drying rack, looking like a kid who'd just watched his whole future collapse. My mom's face didn't move. That was the scary part. No yelling, no gasping, just this flat, terrible calm. Living room, both of you. Now, we sat on the couch like prisoners while she stood over us with her arms crossed, still in her work clothes, staring at Thomas like she was deciding something. "How old are you?" she asked him. "17, ma'am. You've been coming to my house behind my back." "No, ma'am. This is the first. Don't lie to me in my own living room." I started crying. The ugly kind. The kind you can't stop once it starts. "Mom, please, it's not his fault. I asked him to come. I'm the one who—" "Get your coat," she said to Thomas. Not to me. To him. My whole body went numb. I thought about every story I'd heard of parents driving a boyfriend home just to have a conversation with his own parents. The kind of conversation that ends relationships and friendships and sometimes worse. Thomas looked at me like he was already saying goodbye. "Mom, wherever you're taking him, take me too," I said, grabbing my own jacket with shaking hands. "This is my fault, not his." She didn't argue. She just walked out to the car, and we followed her in silence, Thomas's hand finding mine in the dark of the back seat, both of us bracing for something neither of us could name. She drove 12 minutes without a word, pulled into a driveway I didn't recognize, and cut the engine. "Out," she said. The front door opened before we even reached it, porch light spilling onto the lawn, and I froze. Standing there was my Aunt Rosa, my mom's sister, holding a cake with candles already lit. And behind her, my grandmother, and behind her, Thomas's own mother, smiling like she'd been waiting all night. "Happy anniversary," my aunt said, laughing at my face. 4 months, right? Your mom's been dying to throw you two something since Thomas asked her permission to date you back in June. I turned to my mom so fast I nearly lost my balance. "You knew? This whole time?" She finally smiled, just barely. "He came to me first, like a decent young man should. I told him yes, on one condition, that you'd tell me yourselves eventually, instead of climbing through laundry rooms like criminals." She shrugged. "You took longer than I expected." We got tired of waiting. Thomas squeezed my hand, grinning like an idiot. "Your mom's actually terrifying, by the way." I almost told her everything 3 times tonight just from the way she looked at me.